Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of Germantown. My name is Shobi Canal, and my pronouns are she and her. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, united in a common purpose to make love real in our lives and in the world. We are diverse in our beliefs, atheist and agnostic, believers and seekers, and we welcome you here, no matter your race, your class, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your family structure, your job, or your health. Here we know that no matter our differences, we are connected by the interdependent web of life. Whether this is your first, fifth, or 15th visit, we invite you to introduce yourself to someone at the welcome table, and they would be happy to answer any questions you have about this congregation or Unitarian Universalism. Please complete a visitor card and join us for fellowship and a hoagie lunch in the dining room and upstairs in the assembly room following the service. And the dining room is through this door. As we work to widen access to our community, please note that there are large print hymnals and large print orders of service available at the front of the sanctuary. And listening-assisted devices can be picked up from the sound desk. We have an elevator for those who need assistance going up and down. Just ask an usher where to find it. It's kind of hidden. Gender-neutral restrooms can be found at the bottom of the stairs in the back of the sanctuary. Kids or adults who need fidgets can find play packs in baskets at the entrance here. And lastly, longtime members, in case you thought none of this applies to you, as our community grows, please wear your name tag. It allows us to greet one another warmly and genuinely. For our announcements today, after service today, during our fellowship hour of hoagies, we will honor Carolyn Scott, who has served as our administrative assistant and ace wordsmith for many, many years. We will fed her with cake and flowers and hear from a few folks. Please join in the spiritual practice of repair and restoration with our hand sewing clinic today at 1 p.m. in the Sullivan Chapel. Bring your items in need of mending or embroidery to sew by hand alongside others. Tomorrow, Monday, March 31st, is Transgender Day of Visibility. Please note that the time of the celebration at City Hall that was announced in the communicator has been changed from 12 noon to 3 p.m. tomorrow. Mark your calendars, as we have cleared the USG one, for a very special talk next Sunday at 12:30 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. Dr. Alla Stanford, who created the Black Doctors Consortium during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, will be here to give a talk about her personal history, her work in Philadelphia, and the ongoing crisis of racism in medicine. Let's give a big thank you to the volunteers who came out to work on the grounds yesterday for our spring cleanup. And for our final announcement, I want to invite up Jody Hill and Judy Rhodes. Jody is a member of the Stewardship Committee, and they'll help us get excited about the launch of this year's stewardship campaign, Pledge to Love.
Good morning, fine folks and charming children. I am with you today, excited to kick off our pledge campaign. In place of our fearless committee leader, Rick, who should be watching on YouTube today. This week in the mail, you will receive an envelope with two things, a letter and a pledging form. We ask that you read the letter. For repeat pledgers, all you need to do is fill out the form, mark that you will increase your pledge by 10 to 20% if you are able, and put it in the mail. For those who have never pledged, we have enclosed in there, oops, I was to bring my envelope and my letters. We'll pretend. We have enclosed a fair share giving guide to help you along. And we on the committee are Rick Rhodes, who's watching on YouTube and has led us fearlessly. I am Jody. Sam, if you'll stand up, you got it? Reverend Hannah. Hunter. John. And Grace. Great. All right. We may or may not be wearing these hats after service and for the next month, but they are to identify us if you have questions about the pledging campaign. So from here today, you will be treated to a wonderful sermon and music service, after which we will chow down on Philly hoagies. And after that, we encourage all of you to attend a pledge talk upstairs with Reverend Hannah. And now for the entertainment about the pledge. Should we share?
Here we go. Unitarians and non-Unitarians, I bid you welcome. This is a theater temple of sorts, and we Unitarians are here today to worship with friends and family, our beliefs and non-beliefs. Today I'm pleased to announce this song, which will employ you to, well, let's just sing the song. Someone for everyone, it's pledge night tonight. For everyone, it's pledge night tonight. We like our church, we like the sound, we like kids' programs, want them around. That sometimes they have rot. These will cost money, yes they do. Someone for everyone, it's pledge night tonight. Music is grand. Oops. One for everyone, it's pledge night tonight. Music is grand. It's Mike and Rima, strike up the band. These all cost money, it is not funny. We need to pay, oh yes we do. Tragedy.
Thank you. And now, as we deepen into worship, I ask that you silence your cell phones and allow yourself to be present for this hour. But please don't silence your children.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Hannah Capaldi. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve this congregation as your settled minister. It is good to see you this morning. Our call to worship today, come into this house. Come into this house of hope. Come into this house of love. Come into this house of justice. Come into this very human home, this home of imperfect people trying to do better, trying to be better. Come into this home of need, this home of grief, this home of relief. Come into this house of dreams come true, this house of dreams released. Come into this never-ending stone soup story where we each bring but we can, share who we are and learn from one another. Come into this place of questioning, place of exploring, place of compassion, of laughter, of fun. Come into this home of generosity. Come into this house of the young and the old. This home is for us all. Come.
Our chalice will be lit today by Daniel Belker, Benjamin, and Dennis. Let me invite you all up. There's a tall candle behind that you can use. Yeah. Or you can light it from the little tea light. And then the little one, the big one. Thank you. Please join me in the unison words printed in your order of service. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the Spirit. And now, please rise in body or spirit for our first hymn, number 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
say? Young at heart? The kids.
Look at all these little kids. Good Julians with crowns and stuff. Crowns. I thought you said crimes. No, like, wait, what?
This seems like a great time to plug our all ages choir. Oh. Let's hear it for the all ages choir. The all ages pop-up choir, formerly known as the family choir, meets every once in a while, and we sing, rehearse before services and then sing in the service. And guess what? Today, you guys are the all ages pop-up choir. Oh, I know. So, do you all know what we're doing today at church? What are we doing? You know, like what the theme of the day is? If you don't, that's okay. The theme is stewardship. Do you know what that word means? Probably not. Stewardship means giving money. Is that fair? Is that a good enough way to say it? I guess I'm a little more blunt than Zoe. We're going to sing a song with you guys today. Will you learn a song with us? Yeah, it's really, really easy. Listen to the words. Love is something if you give it away. You do? So it goes, love is something if you give it away. Give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Does that make sense? Yeah. Why does it make sense? Are money and love similar that way? They are. So the song is called Magic Penny, and think about it this way. If you have one penny and you just hold it really tight, it's not really good for anything, right? But if you share it and then other people share all their pennies, then there's a lot of stuff happening and it's good, right? So the penny is worth more that way. How am I doing? Then you have a lot of pennies everywhere. Love is the same way. That's the point of the song. So will you listen to the choir sing just the beginning of this song, and then you can sing the refrain with us when it comes around, okay? Cool. You remember the words that I told you? Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Cool. Listen to the choir sing it just one time. Here we go, choir. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You sounded so good. Okay, we're not going to go out with a song today, but I'm going to invite all of you to go gather where we normally do in the dining room while I make a few announcements, okay? So we're making some changes to where our classes are, so as you all walk out, I'm going to tell your grown-ups where they can find you. So if you are under the age of 3, you'll still be in the wiggle room in the back. If you are between the ages of 3 and 5, yep, we're gonna head out. Kayla, will you help shepherd them and Edie? Okay. If you are between the ages of 3 and 5 and you are the grown-up of one of those kids, we're gonna be next door today. So you can find your kids by going through the playground to one of the doors, and we'll be next door, and we would love for you to come get them so we can all enjoy cake at Fellowship Hour. And this is a good reminder that for all of our adults taking care of our kids to come get them after service. The older ones will be in Sullivan 1 and Sullivan 2. Okay, and I think we're slowly making our way out. Ruth, Yara, and Arthur are gonna finish up our line. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
I was raised without a religious tradition. For much of my life, it never occurred to me that my life would be enriched in any way by joining a faith community. I thought I could pursue the project of trying to be a decent human being all on my own. But have you noticed that being human is really hard sometimes? I began to long for a larger frame of reference to turn to when confronting day-to-day moral and ethical dilemmas. I have found that scaffolding in the values of Unitarian Universalism and in our USG community. Here, I've been warmly welcomed, inspired by the words and music of our worship services, and invited to join with others in projects large and small that embody UU values such as love, justice, equity, and generosity. I love that in this community, unlike the competitive world of capitalism, we can all be of use. We don't have to be experts or have the most impressive resumes for our creativity and labor to be needed and welcomed. This year, I started helping with our children's program, a new experience to me, and definitely not an area of expertise for me. I feel such delight to see our community growing. There's so much lively energy, love, and laughter here. In so much of society, adults and children are segregated, and older adults are segregated from everybody else. Our USG community is a rare place where people of all ages get to share themselves and make contributions to the community and the wider world. This year, when I consider how much money to contribute to my USG community, I'm mindful of the vital role our faith community plays in my life. I feel grateful to the generations of USG members and contributing friends before me, whose monetary investments in this community enable us to exist today. I want to do my part to make sure that USG thrives in the present, such a scary and challenging time in our country when we need each other so much and our city and country need us to be strong and effective. Finally, I want to pass on the gifts of our forebears and ensure that USG is here to welcome future generations. Thank you. And now, this Sunday, we share our collection plate with 2 institutions of higher learning, seminaries dedicated to educating the next generations of Unitarian Universalist ministers, the Star King School for Ministry and Meadville Lombard Theological School. Each of these places nurtures the hearts and minds of those who have answered the call to become a religious professional and a leader in our faith. Please give generously, as we have found that the more we give away, the more that comes our way. To give in cash or check, please drop in the plate as ushers pass by. To give by text, please follow the instructions on the back cover of your order of service.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead.
The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war, and poverty.
Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say.
They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. Oh,
The world won't get no better
if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The
world won't get no better.
gotta change it, yeah. Just you and me.
Wake up, all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hell.
But they don't have so very long before the judgment day. Won't you make them happy before they pass away?
Wake up, all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand.
The only thing we have to do is put it in our mind. Surely things will work out. They do it every time. Oh, oh, oh.
The world won't get no better
If we just let it be. No, no, no.
The world won't get no better.
Gotta change it, yeah. Just you and me.
The world won't get no better.
If we just let it be, let it be.
The world won't get no better.
We gotta change it, yeah. Just you and me.
Just you and me.
Oh, you and me, oh.
You and me. You and me.
You and me, yeah.
You and me. You and me.
At this time, we invite you to contribute your joys and sorrows to the bowls of water at the front of the sanctuary. Choose a smooth stone or a pebble and place it in the water to absorb your pain or ripple out your joy. Sterns will play as we process. Reverend Hannah will place a pebble for Janet Perper, who lost her daughter to cancer. We hold her in our hearts at this time. Reverend Hannah will place a pebble in the water for Nancy LaFauci, who is recovering from a severe bout of COVID. We hold her in our hearts at this time. Reverend Hannah will place a pebble in the water for Rick Rhodes, who continues to struggle with a severe infection. We hold him in our hearts at this time. Reverend Hannah will place a pebble and a smooth stone for all trans-identified people in this community and in the world. With these stones, we celebrate you and cherish your presence in our lives and the world on the eve of Trans Day of Visibility. Finally, Reverend Hannah will place one smooth stone and one pebble into the water on behalf of all those joining us online. Please remain seated and join in singing hymn number 123 in the hardback hymnal, Spirit of Life, after which we will share in a moment of silence.
Spirit of life and Spirit of love, Spirit that lives within us and between us and among us right now. May we continue to weave the web of trust and care to keep our bodies safe. May our bodies be the site of healing, joy, and freedom. May we refuse to let our spirits be depleted and hardened by the forces of hate. May we open ourselves to be nourished and transformed by the work of community, by the work of justice, by the love of all. May we know ours is the work of creation, the work of invitation. May we return to our belief that a new world, another world is possible. May we recall the gifts of our lives and the spirit of abundance that moves. May we recall the joy and celebration. May we remember the things we are fighting for and the ones we are fighting with. May we be called to know we belong, to know we are loved. May we be grateful to the last. Amen, and blessed be.
People get ready. There's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage. You just get on board.
All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. Don't need no ticket, just thank the Lord. People get ready. There's a train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is key, open the doors and board them. There's hope for all, so thank the Lord. Can we even make room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own? Have mercy on those whose choices grow thinner, so there's no hiding place from a kingdom's throne. Get on board now. Get
Today's reading is from the Reverend Leslie Takahashi. To worship means to consider that which has worth. Today we consider with gratitude the many gifts of this community, the opportunity to be affirmed in who we are and to offer that affirmation to others, the chance to stand up together to help remake the world in the ideal of justice, the freedom to choose one's own path to truth and to learn from the travelogues of others, the space to expand one's own spirit and to reconnect after busy or humdrum weeks with the sustaining truths of one's life. Regular reminders that we must see our world through the lens of love. And the aspiration to consider all life as precious, for if all of it is made of stardust, how can it not be wondrous? So this morning, let's welcome all these gifts with gratitude, for they have been paid for with many currencies. The blood of the martyrs who died so that we can be free in our religion. The sweat of those who persisted in justice's name against hostility and adversity. The tears of those who struggled to build better lives for those in this life. The questions of our children as they understand the world anew and offer their understanding to us as a fresh lens. The laughter and joy of those giddy with the embrace of community. The dollars and cents of those who gave what they could and then stretched a little more. The infinite, small acts of service that make the parts greater than the whole, done by those who knew themselves in sympathy with our purpose. So today we consider with gratitude and humility what it means to pay forward what has been paid forward for us. And so we worship with gladness in our hearts.
Might be the first time any of you have heard the phrase blood of the martyrs referenced in a UU congregation. Thank you, Reverend Leslie, for that. This week, we on staff and on the ministerial executive team have been hammering out the details of a collaborative partnership with the Springboard Meditation Sangha, a non-denominational space of silent meditation. In the Buddhist style, it meets in Sullivan Chapel once a month. You are all invited to sit with them at any time when they are here. But all this is to say we have been talking about payment, about how to formalize this partnership, this exchange of money for space, etc. And the Sangha kept referring back to the practice of dana, a goodwill offering, a free will collection. Dana is a Sanskrit word found in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. It is an ancient word that connotes the virtue of generosity. In the Rig Veda, the ancient collection of Sanskrit hymns, Book 10, hymn 117, recalls, "Riches come now to one, now to another, and like the wheels of carts are ever rolling." The money stays moving. The money flows so that it passes through us and forward, onward, to do other, better things, rather than hoard it, rather than store it. And suddenly, the wheels of carts for me had changed into a water wheel in my mind, taking up wealth from the great river below and passing it along to the next bucket, rolling the wheel along. The water must move to make the power. Dana is given without expectation of anything in return, that by giving freely we honor all those who gave to us freely. That by giving freely we erode the power of consumerist thinking in our lives. That by giving freely we ourselves might be freed from the chokehold that transactional relationships have on our life. So on this Stewardship Sunday, the Sunday when we launch our annual drive to collect your anticipated financial contributions for the year, from which we plan our budget and live into our mission, I thought about what it means to practice Donna, to give freely, without obligation, without expectation. For we are nothing if not the free church. All of us here of our own free will. We chose Unitarian Universalism. We freely associate here. We freely think here. We freely write checks here. We do have no required dues. How might we consider giving here, not because we have expectations about what we might get in return, but because we keep the money moving. We keep the money flowing, that we draw from a well of wealth we did not dig, and we pass it along so that we might build power. That to give wealth, to share resources, that's what makes us rich. Deuteronomy book 6, when the Lord your God brings you into the land he swore to your fathers, to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, to give you a land with large flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves you did not plant, then you will eat and be satisfied. We come to this place, to this community, this congregation, this faith to eat, literally and figuratively, and be satisfied. But to get here, we drive on roads we did not pave. We eat hoagies we did not assemble. We sit in pews we did not build. But each week we come back here to be reminded of what really matters, that what makes us rich is to see the abundance all around, inherited from those who came before, from the natural world itself, and to keep it moving, to share it, to pass it forward, to make power. That's what makes us rich. I've seen on social media a trend in which folks comment after watching a video of families celebrating an elder's 100th birthday with joy and good humor, or a baby toddling around and being encouraged with 1,000 chants of "Go little one, go little one." I've seen this trend where people comment, "That is wealth. That woman is rich beyond measure." Wealth is a feeling, one we must cultivate in these days of economic precarity for each of us. We are more likely to be homeless than to be billionaires. But we can create a real and profound sense of richness in our lives by practicing our faith, building our power, and relentlessly giving to that which matters most. I want to share with you all how your generosity has made me feel rich, how your giving to this place allowed me to pass the wealth along, to keep it moving, powering forward a feeling of safety and security in the world. It happened on Christmas Eve. I had just come back from parental leave to lead you in service. I arrived at my office to find that my pants for preaching, the hem, had come undone. And so I went to the dollar store down the street. How many of you know? The one next to Toto's. Yeah. Which I found mostly empty at 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve, except for one woman and her 4 children. Maybe ages 5, 7, 11, 15. I watched them, observed them for a little while as they shopped on Christmas Eve. I watched the 15-year-old bring over 2 packs of underwear, and I watched the mom say, no, just one today. I watched the little one bring over a toy, and with a gentle chiding, the mom saying, no, put that back, honey. were here for other things. I watched the stress on her face, and I watched the kids' dutiful respect. And on a day when I felt so attuned to my own privilege in my life, so attuned to the gift of my life and what Christmas Eves had been like for me, overwhelmed with excitement about all of the presents under the tree, relishing the opportunity to wear my new dress to church that night, a childhood where I always had as much underwear as I needed. And after observing them for a moment, I sidled up to the mom and I said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, are these your kids?" And she said, yes, these are my kids. And I said, "Let me tell you something. I'm the pastor of a church up the street, and I'd like to take you on a shopping spree. I'd like to pay for anything you need. We have money for this kind of stuff. You fill the cart, send the kids out to the store, get whatever you want. I'll pay for it. The church will pay for it." She said, "Are you kidding?" And I said, No, I'm not kidding. Whatever they want. I've got a credit card. I've got money for this sort of thing." She said, "We just moved. We just moved from a house with no hot water, and I haven't been able to wash the kids' clothes." And so she loaded up the cart with laundry detergent. And she bought a new bath mat, and the kids got bras and underwear and socks and shirts, and they also got toys upon toys upon toys. They got 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's and huge bags of potato chips. They got shampoo and conditioner. They got mascara. They got hangers. The mom grabbed a pair of pajamas for herself. And as they came to the front, I looked at the bounty in their cart, and I looked at their eyes, and I tried to signal with my body and my soul and my spirit, "This is Donna. You do not owe me anything for this." I tried to let them know with my body and my feeling of, this is just what you deserve on Christmas Eve. What all of us deserve. That I am simply the vessel. Not a savior or a good Samaritan, but passing to you what has been passed to me so many times over. By my parents and my grandparents and their good fortunes, but also by all of you. Because I paid that day with my minister's discretionary fund, a budget line filled by your generosity. And had I not been able to pay with that, I would have paid for it out of my professional expenses, a budget line filled by your generosity. And had I not paid for it with that, I would have paid for it out of the Sullivan Fund, a bequest gifted here by one of you. Your gifts to this place, collected during the stewardship campaign, were the catalyst for a profound moment of connection for me. Magnified by the work we do together with your gifts. Philosopher Piero Ferrucci writes, "The true benefit of generosity for the giver is not a material advantage, but an inner revolution. We become more fluid, more willing to risk. We place less store on possession and more on people. And the boundaries between us and others become less drastic, so that we feel part of a whole in which it is possible to share. Share resources, share ourselves." That day I felt an inner revolution, one that made me feel rich, full of compassion and gratitude. I know that for many of you, the pledge campaign can induce stress. It can bring up shame and discomfort that we are all steeped in and oversaturated with messages about scarcity, and we are all very, very aware of how expensive life is right now. But you come here to be reminded about what really matters. To be grounded in that which cannot be commodified, relationship and purpose and beauty and meaning. We each desire an inner revolution, which might close the gap and dissolve the boundaries and allow us to gift without expectation, knowing it has been gifted unto us by others. Gifted to us by virtue of being alive, gifted to us by the great forces of love at work in the universe. Each and every day that I get up and get to minister to you, to this place, to this community, this faith, is a gifted day to me. Being a part of this place makes me feel rich. We are rich in love. We are rich in connection, rich in song and prayer and hope, rich enough to give it away. Gift it, so that the water wheel keeps turning, building power with every bucket filled, with every rotation around its axis, returning water to the great river rushing below and drawing up richness to pass along. May each of you go forth today and consider what makes you feel rich, what work you might do to honor all that has been gifted to you, what generosity you might practice which would invite in an inner revolution. May you give freely, free of expectation and free of obligation, to this spiritual home that loves you beyond belief. May it be so, and amen. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for our final congregational hymn, number 1024, in the softback hymnal, When the Spirit Says Do.
Spirit
As we extinguish our chalice, please join me in unison with the words printed in your order of service, followed by our song response, and I'm going to invite Dan. Oh, you'll do it, okay. We extinguish our chalice, but the flame remains in us as we live into the mission of this congregation, building beloved community with compassion, service, and empowerment.